Ready?
Yes.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hey! Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Youth Ministry Garage, episode 202. You have the fabulous threesome minus the four-headed horseman who left for Kenya today, which means there will be no cackles, which means we'll get questions answered, which means there won't be fighting, which means it may not be a good show for some people.
Oh, great show.
Who just listen. People who listen just to hear McGill and I get into a fight.
That's true.
But
You
anyway,
guys could probably
We could go at it
go
today.
head to head tonight.
I like Josh too much.
I agree with
Pretty
that.
nice.
Starting early.
So it is going to be a great show. Katie just got back from a 7-day vacation to Hawaii.
Wow.
Just my hub.
That's great.
I think you
Yeah.
might be a little sunburned.
Somebody said I look tan today. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, tan's relative. You're still like a pink
see-through,
ghost.
So. Yeah, no, it was amazing.
That's the title of the show.
The pink
Pink
ghost.
Ghost.
There you go.
Nicely done. Nicely done. You know what they titled last show that you were
Oh,
gone?
I loved it.
Who do we have? Oh, Jana was here.
Yeah, Jana was in town.
Jana sat in.
It was a good show.
Jana
Really,
sat
really
in
fun.
for show 201.
Shoot.
And we called that show Doug's Drinking Problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
I'm sad I missed it. I
It was
love
a good
Jana.
show.
I know. Jana was great.
Matt was in rare form.
Here was the deal. I forgot
He
how
was nice?
feisty. I forgot how feisty Jana is. Jana is
She's
feisty.
very feisty.
Yeah, I like you a lot better.
Not
agree.
true.
I do.
Not
Totally.
true.
Totally.
Jana's my hero.
Jana's great.
It was
but
a good time, but
Let's put it this way: she made a good sub, but she's no Katie. Hey, Brian Lee from Washington, North Carolina says, "Where is episode 200?
it's a good question.
Oh.
Lost
We haven't seen
episode.
you since episode 200."
I know.
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other since the big live show.
Yeah, we decided to it's done. It's over. It had to be there.
You
kind
can't
of
watch it? Oh,
No,
So insider.
Yeah.
you
It
had to be there.
is?
You had to be there.
how terrible.
No, well, it was so great. I mean, we need to say
Yeah.
we happen to use Specialties, primary
Yeah.
sponsor. Thank
Unbelievable
you, thank you,
event.
thank you.
So
Had fun.
Okay, and Youth Ministry 360 had the photo backdrop,
Which
Yeah.
was super fun.
which was super fun.
Very cool stuff.
Leader Treks, we gave stuff away.
Yeah, absolutely. Ton
Yeah.
of giveaways from them.
Remedy Live is the one that recorded it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our own
live
sponsor.
streamed it. So if you weren't there, you could watch it online.
But and Azusa Pacific gave us free pizza. Okay,
And
that's the
sweatshirts.
trash. No, that was UPS truck. For those of you that listen,
I noticed your trash wasn't out today. You guys okay? Need me to take it out quick?
I had a little mistake this morning.
Did you drop the ball?
I dropped the ball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, with Cody at school, trash is my responsibility.
Yeah.
And Cassie's job is to empty the house trash, but then I drag it out.
gotta get it to the curb,
This
yeah.
morning I left early, and the pool guy was parked in the trash area.
I never thought
And
about
I
it.
just didn't think that I need to get the trash out. And I drove down the street and I saw the trash cans and I thought I could turn around or
Don't think that.
I could call Kathy.
Yeah.
So
it didn't
I
take
called
out.
Kathy and she said, I'll take it out. And she forgot.
Aw.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
no
was
big
gonna
deal.
say, what a
You're
great wife.
such a
I'd have been
good
like,
husband.
next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Oh, there's always next Thursday.
So anyway,
Yeah, I got it. So it's a great show, but it will forever remain a mystery.
well, why is that? That's the first time
Yeah,
hearing
why
about
is
it.
that?
No, I like it.
It's just kind of a fun idea.
Oh, fun idea.
Yeah.
Because my husband tried to watch it live, but
Oh, yeah.
he couldn't
Oh.
get it.
People
No.
didn't watch it live?
Yeah, they watched it.
Oh,
Okay.
just
Here's the
he
deal.
didn't.
Seth and I have been meeting. Seth, executive producer, sitting right there. We all know him, but not everybody
Yeah.
does.
Say hi.
But here's the deal. Seth and I are going to do live show. We're talking about live show soon. He's got to check the internet here.
Just you and Seth are going to do
no,
our show?
no.
Kind of feel like we're getting cut out of the deal here.
The cool guys.
Shake these-
Yeah. These delicious cookies
Seth and
from
I have
Seth's
been
wife.
talking about doing. Yeah, Seth's wife. You guys. Seth's wife makes an unbelievable cookies. She doesn't know that's not the right thing to do. That's not my love language. It's
These-
actually I hate her.
Look at how
These
good
should be a
this
prize.
is.
These
They
could be a
are.
prize.
They are a
Seriously.
prize. So here's the deal. I went off my diet when Seth walked in. And I had
15 minutes.
I had 4.
He got on the shoulder of his diet. Then he took a turn, drove down a dirt road, like
Crashed.
17 cookies. Ran into a tree.
I had 4 of those within 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and then I told these guys I would give them $100 each if I had another one, which is
Yeah.
I'm way too cheap
Yeah.
to give you guys $100.
And you hate to lose.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's a competition now. It has nothing to do with anything except you will win.
Yeah.
And I really want you to lose because I could use $100.
Yeah, I know, but there's not a chance. If you could use $100, let's just send people to buy stuff through morethandodgeball.com.
Cha-ching.
There
Please
you
do
go.
that.
Okay. There it is. There's your $100.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it. Gonna go get the new iPhone.
All right. So Brian Lee says, "Where's episode 200?" Brian,
It's not coming. It's
it'll
over.
come. That
I don't know.
I think that's too mean.
Seth,
Seth,
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
It'll make its way up there.
there's some
Lost.
diehards out there that need that episode.
this is from DW Sparks. This is actually came in through the blog. Says, "Why must you tease us with new episodes when we can't get past episodes to catch up on iTunes? What's happening with iTunes?"
iTunes hasn't been our friend recently, but
Oh.
you know where you can get all the episodes?
You can get all the episodes at youthministrygarage.com, which is where you send in
There you go.
your
Send in your
questions
questions.
through there as well. Hey, here's a question from Carol Scott, San Antonio, Texas. Wants to know what we're going to do, since we did show 200, what we're going to do in Dallas next week.
Awesome. Show 203.
Well, we need the three of us.
Well,
we
will
need
you
to
be
do
there? Will you be in Dallas? No. So it's you and me.
What do you want to do?
I don't know. We've live show from Outback sounds good. I would totally eat a steak. You could video me eating a steak for that episode. Do you want to do a show? I feel like it would. It's just
Well, why don't you and I do something? Let's do something Youth Ministry Garage related.
yes.
Why don't you just
Let's
get
do it.
everybody together for fun?
That'd be great.
Should we do it behind the scenes somewhere and go to some?
Wear cowboy hats too.
Will this
Oh, that's
show
so
be
good,
up?
yeah.
Oh yeah, this show could be up.
This show will be up beforehand, so people that are going to
So
Dallas,
confident.
let's
Yeah.
do something.
Way to go, Seth.
Let's
Matt's
do like
not
a-
doing it, so yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll do something at YS for the.
When are you
garage.
there?
Thursday through Monday morning. I'm staying for the Cowboys game.
Okay,
My dad's flying into town. We're spending a couple extra days.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe
When in Dallas,
maybe Saturday night, late Saturday night.
probably.
Go to the Cowboys game? That was the end of that statement?
Would it be
No,
inappropriate
yeah.
for me to nap right now after?
Dude, you are gonna come off a sugar crash. It's gonna
Okay,
be rough.
Carol Scott.
Have one more. Keep it going.
Oh.
What if you put a scoop of ice cream in between two of them?
Do you guys have any ice cream?
Peanut butter chocolate ice cream?
Oh my!
That cookie is so
I
good.
could take you over the top.
Seth, I'm telling you,
We could bring this to Dallas.
you got to stop doing this.
You should.
Every time he comes over, he brings it over.
we could give away resources.
It's like he had seven
Give
sisters.
away cookies.
Hey, let's do this. We got a whole bunch of questions, but before we dig in, now that you're holding up a, do you want to say what our sponsors?
Yeah. I just wanted to give you a little update from our sponsors. We talked to Doug Franklin from Leader Treks, one of our sponsors, and they're advertising a great thing coming up. Their refuel retreats are coming right around the corner. They have 2 of them coming up. One is in South Carolina and one is in Colorado. So check it out on leadertreks.com.
I've always wanted to go to the Colorado one.
I know.
It sounds so
It does
great.
sound so cool. And it's just a chance to refresh, relax, get away. Honestly.
And it's small. It's like 30
Yeah.
people go to it.
And you're getting poured into by some sharp minds, some good people, and
cool.
you're up in the mountains somewhere. That's pretty
In
legit.
beautiful Colorado.
Yeah. So that's an update from Leader Treks.
All right. Dave Campbell from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Not San
right.
Diego. South
Sioux
Dakota.
Falls. Got it.
There's Dave has a buddy who has fallen on some hard times in youth ministry and wants to know, says, Doug, would you be willing to talk to Mark Matlock and his minions about getting my buddy to Dallas? I know it's a shot in the dark. I don't even need to talk to Mark Matlock. Who is he anyway?
yeah.
Just the president of Youth Specialties, our corporate
big deal.
sponsor.
Powered by Mark
I was
Matlock.
just on the phone with them as these guys
True.
walked up.
It's true.
At
At least he says he was. We don't know who he was
That's
talking
right.
to.
Mark, I don't know. I wrote Jeremy Camp on here. I don't know why.
What?
I don't know why.
You
Jeremy
want
Camp
to
is gonna
sing
send-
a little song
Yeah.
over voicemail?
Do
I don't
it.
know. But we'll get this guy in free. I'll make it happen.
Wait,
Oh my
that's it?
gosh.
Just
That's
like just that fast.
You just gotta ask. There it is.
I love when you give away free conferences. It's
I
like
know.
such a big gift.
I know. I've yet to get in trouble. Youth Specialties has sponsored us for a year, and I haven't gotten in trouble for anything.
You're just throwing stuff. Well, I like it.
I like
it
it.
a lot.
I'm
All
right
right.
here
Well,
if you want
congratulations,
to
this
send
guy
me.
from Sioux Falls.
Let's try to
Hard
get.
Times guy.
I'll get him in. You contact him. Is that cool?
And Jeremy Camp. See if you can get them together.
Yeah.
Come hang out with us.
Ethan Young from Conway, Arkansas, basically is asking the same thing
And
about.
to you, we say, sorry, we just gave one away to Sioux Falls.
No,
guy.
he's asking about what can we do in Dallas.
Oh,
And
okay.
he says looking forward to lunch dinner with Josh at Outback in
Yes.
Dallas.
Yes.
Have you set anything up around that, or is he just?
Oh, no. Who's
Ethan Young?
No.
Okay. I think.
He's a faithful follower.
Yeah.
I could easily do a
Oh, he does
Saturday lunch.
he does have a question. Doug, Josh, Katie, Matt, you're amazing. Thank you for encouraging us. I've always enjoyed listening to what you say. I'm an addict. I'm a double rewind of all episodes. I've watched all the episodes with Katie 4 times.
Oh,
What?
Wow, that almost seems like an inappropriate crush.
Yeah, that's.
I listen every day when I walk
very
and when I do
sweet.
administrative work. I know a little overboard, but I'm looking
cool.
forward to 200. So here are the
See?
questions.
Sorry,
needs
lost
200.
What are good resources for help with families of divorce? 90% of the students that attend are in split or remarried home. Help
90%?
90%.
of his students,
Wow.
not in the world.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, got that one all taken care of.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, you said 90%, so I figured you were
It's
going.
so high, though.
Around the globe? I don't, resource-wise, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I don't think we. I
Does
have
Jen
anything off the
have
top of my head.
anything like that?
Not on
with
divorce.
homework?
Here's what we're doing. We're moving this to the web.
Yeah, that's a
I
great
like
one.
Move to web.
Yeah, I would like to read people's responses on that.
Now, there used to be years ago, Steve Murray. You guys don't have any idea.
Nothing.
St. Andrews Press in Newport Beach wrote a book on divorce recovery for teenagers.
Wow.
But it's been a long, long time ago.
Is there anything in like Life Where It's Got Heels or The Landing? I know those are more like recovery, addiction.
Yeah, not specific to divorce,
I
but
can't
boy,
think
you'd
of
think there would be a great resource.
There is
Yeah.
a couple of things in the, the emergency youth ministry handbook.
Yep, that's
Do I know it?
There are.
It's right here.
Oh,
The Volunteer's Guide to Helping
That was
Teenagers in
not planned.
Crisis.
Yeah, is there a
yeah,
chapter
there
on divorce?
actually is. There's a chapter on divorce in there. I'm pretty sure.
All right. I'm
So
sure it's in here.
yeah,
Don't see it, but
I'm almost positive there's something
Okay.
in there on that.
great. It's the
So-
Volunteer's Guide to Helping Teenagers in Crisis. Crisis.
Yeah, so it's great. I mean, I know that it's small. I mean, it's probably just a couple of pages, but
Yeah,
there's.
but it'd be something at least.
I think
Somebody
here's
get started.
here's what that says to me, Josh. Somebody needs to write something, and we put it on Download Youth Ministry
I agree. We would do it immediately. That'd be perfect.
if it's good.
Yeah.
Have you
Well-
read an article about that or anything?
I don't think I ever have. And to be honest, we have a lot of students that
We do.
live that
Yeah,
and
we
go
are.
through it. It would
blended
be.
families and divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I do think there's a total need there.
yeah. David Diener, Pendleton, Indiana. First, want to say how much I appreciate the garage and all you do for youth workers. Whenever I need a good laugh, I just watch the episode.
There you go.
Oh, I would think whenever somebody wants a question answered.
Yeah.
Because what's our new byline?
We answer your question.
We answer your questions. What do you think
That's
of
the
that?
byline?
It's so simple. It's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth has gone to some branding meetings
You're
lately.
not, you didn't put for a good laugh.
And
For a
And we
good
answer your
laugh, call
questions.
Youth Ministry Garage.
We answer your questions, ... and make you laugh.
For a good
See,
laugh from these
done.
ministry
I think so.
jokers.
All right, so he thinks we're
Anyway,
all a joke.
to
Continue.
my question, what would you say is the biggest game changer in your ministry? Something you can say, quote, blank really makes my ministry effective.
Ooh, good question.
What is one thing that changed the ministry ball game for you? I
So
know
not-
Josh is going to say when Doug speaks. That makes my ministry effective.
So not necessarily the
Totally
thing, but
says that
thing.
all the time.
I do. You know, I've been trying to get Doug to speak for a while, but now that he's big time traveling speaker
Sure.
guy,
It's kind of a big deal.
His price went up.
Yeah,
and,
I'm not sure you can afford me.
and he's so busy all the time. Man,
What's your game changer?
I would say student involvement, and that is an old principle that's been around for whatever PDYM. It's stuck in my head from the very first time I read it. A weekend service needs a side of student involvement. When a new student walks into our ministry, they see students on stage in the band, running the soundboard, involved, greeting, and I think they go, all right, this isn't like an adult-run ministry for students. There's a place for me. These students really believe this stuff. I'm totally in. So we took it a step further and did something which we talked about before called You on the Weekend, which is the ultimate expression of student involvement.
Yeah.
And that is where students do everything, even the messages, the teaching, video, everything. And it's been a total game changer for
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
I would say it's a huge hook. It's a big deal. It gets ownership of the core students, and it is basically an open invitation to the community students who are kind of checking you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
That would
big.
actually be like a good start to finish book, Josh.
Okay.
You own the weekend.
Yeah, we should do
because
something.
I talk about it a lot, when I'm out and I'm
Yeah.
explaining to it, because it's one of those things that's like post the Doug Fields era. I had nothing to do with that, and so I love going. That is something I never thought of. It's brilliant. I've seen them all. They're
good. They're
amazing.
really
it wouldn't
neat.
have to be a long. It's
No.
just like like Matt and I did the small groups from start to finish. You own the weekend from start to finish. Like, here are the
That's cool.
10 steps that we've taken. Help people out. Do a little PDF.
I actually
slap
wrote
that baby and download Youth Ministry.
Yeah. I wrote out some answers and from frequently asked questions because so many people were like,
Yeah.
we want to try this. Or
Yeah.
a church in Seattle just last week did a You on the Weekend series. And I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
good.
cool.
Good.
That's a
I'll make a
good
note.
idea.
So anyhow, student involvement for me, game changer.
Okay. Katrina?
Well, this is kind of old school, but when I first started, small groups were a game changer for our ministry. When we went into small groups, into homes, and created that kind of intimate setting with a couple of leaders and some students, I think that just changed just the pastoral care of our ministry, the relational aspect of our ministry. When I first started, we did a traditional midweek where, it was kind of more of that crowd program type of a thing. And when we moved to small groups, that just really changed the way that we cared for students. And then a step further for that, on our weekend currently, that's when we have kind of our crowd service, our crowd program. We added a little small group element into that service. It's only 8 minutes. It's at the top of the service, and it's just a connect time so that every student gets eye contact and a greeting and everything from a leader. They get to connect with someone before they either have to go sit by themselves or something like that. New visitors get to connect with somebody immediately before walking to sit in a chair by themselves. So just adding in small groups in general to our ministry, but then adding in a little small group element to our crowd program really, I don't know, I feel like we know more students' names. I feel like more students feel comfortable in that crowd program.
It gives your volunteers a place to serve.
Volunteers, it gives them a great role. They have students that they identify as their own on the weekend, which is neat. It's not just in the midweek small groups. So, I don't know. For us, those two things have been game changers.
That's good. That's good.
Love it. How about you, Doug?
Well, I would say for me, I wrote about this in first 2 years of youth ministry. Like when I wrote first 2 years,
Cha-ching.
when I wrote first 2 years of youth ministry. By the way, remind me afterwards.
Oh, great. You got a bit?
I met with today. I had lunch with the guy who published my first books at Harvest House.
Oh, yeah.
So it was. You and I have been talking about book sales. I just want to show you something.
Oh,
so when I was like my first 10 books were Harvest House books. So I haven't seen them in 20 years, and we just had a good old time. But I want to tell you a story.
Oh, I love it.
Related to that. So first 2 years of youth ministry, I went to our volunteers and sat with them and said, what is it that has made you, not all the volunteers, but if somebody was a volunteer for like 5 years or more, I just said, teach me. What, under my leadership, what have you felt empowered to do or whatever?
Yeah.
And I think for me, the aha was people saying, you allow me to be the youth pastor. And I think that was the game, been a game changer for me in ministry, is going, okay, let them go. Let them go. Release them. Let the volunteers be the youth pastor. Let them.
Yeah, you have the title.
They're capable of decisions.
Right.
They're capable of leading.
Sure.
They're doing better discipleship than I was doing at the time with all the masses that I was overseeing. I think that was the game changer. Really releasing them to lead. I mean, even we have a 17-year-old. It's our last one to leave the house, and even Kathy and I now we're looking at each other, going, okay, let her make that decision. She's capable of it. We don't need to do that. I mean, we catch ourselves even as parents going, saving our kids from different things or answering them or last night at dinner. Right now, as we speak, Cassie's trying out at a Christian college for volleyball. And so she was nervous, but the coach has been recruiting her and talking to her about come hang out. And she's like, well, should I go now or should I go? And I said, let's just tell me what your options are. Okay? Just list your options.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, she's kind of pausing, thinking, and Kathy jumps in and gives one of the options. And I'm like, babe, let her come up with it. And it wasn't like Kathy was doing that to be mean.
Sure,
Right.
she's
Or
just
trying to
she
help you.
was just being
Just
helpful.
being
Like here, but it was one of those things where we're so used to doing things for our kids. I think that same principle applies to volunteers. So used to, let me get that for you, or I'll take care of that for you. As opposed to saying, well, that's great. You know, figure that out.
Right.
You know.
You got this.
Yeah, you've been around. Figure it out.
That's cool.
So I think that's a game changing idea. It's really, and it also requires. It's not as easy as it sounds
Sure,
because
you gotta let go
as
of
a
your
leader,
time, and you're gonna
as a
let go.
leader, you got to let go.
Yes.
You got to
Sure,
let go of
that's
it
super
and
hard.
let them run with it
Yeah.
and let them make mistakes and the whole bit. But that
But
would,
it's such a mature thing to do too. You're saying be led by the Spirit and go pastor these. I mean, that's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To do that right, I agree. It's game changing.
yeah.
Strong.
Hey, let's do this. Let's send David Diener from Pendleton, Indiana. Let's send him something from Youth Ministry 360. Let's
do it.
What's happening? What do they got?
Well, let's get him a new resource called Trending.
Is that what
yeah,
it is?
It's really cool. It's just a nice. No, from Youth Ministry 360. Let's do. Actually, here you go. Ready?
Yeah.
Spiel time. Here we go. They are doing the Youth Ministry 360 Super Pack right now. Super Pack. It's on. 24 weeks of Bible study. It's perfect to start the new year off with. There you go.
What's it
Commercials
called?
over. The
Super Pack.
YM360 Super Pack. Basically, it's a ton of small group material that's supposed to be awesome.
That's awesome.
And Youth Ministry 360 let us in on a little secret too. They're launching like a new Bible study resource line in January too. So you're hearing about it first.
And anytime I'm sure it's still good, but when you buy anything of Youth Ministry 360, just put in YMG for Youth
YMG,
Ministry Garage,
and you get a little
and
discount.
you get a percentage off.
That's
All right,
how it's done.
all right,
Yeah.
we're gonna send you
Super
that.
Pack on its way.
All right. Charles Havens from Topeka, Kansas. I've been a youth sponsor in my church for 9 years. Have finally decided to stop being a volunteer and follow my calling. I'm in my senior year of my youth ministry degree at a local Christian college. Part of that experience requires me to serve as an intern, which I'm doing at my church and have been serving. The question is this: since I have become an intern for the youth minister who started in January, I have become the complaint recipient for him. I hear about everyone's complaints, such as why does the youth minister never attend morning services? Why is he canceling camp this year? And the always unpopular, why can't I get materials earlier? I try my best to reassure the complainers, but I'm getting it from several key volunteers. So far, only one has not complained. I do not know how to approach my youth minister with these complaints without upsetting him. I've tried to talk to him before when a student confided in me that he felt as though the youth minister was ignoring him, but he got upset with me and wanted me to handle it. I'm afraid that he's going to be upset that many people are having a hard time. He's a very gifted speaker and I really like him as a person, but I'm afraid for our ministry. What should I do?
Oh my gosh.
Easy peasy.
Okay, go easy,
Got
man.
it. Ready?
Yep.
He's a great speaker. Could mean that he's not a good administrator. So some of the things that are falling through the cracks, like small group curriculum, following up with a student, etc., are not in his wheelhouse. Because sometimes, oftentimes maybe, those giftings do not pair up very well. The speaker person is the crowd person, and they really could use someone administratively to come alongside them and help them in their weakness. Tough to admit, not always easy to help them see that, but probably is the case that's happening here. So what I would say to this person is come alongside that youth worker and fill in the gaps that are clearly missing in this great leader who's dropping the ball.
Okay, but see, that's an answer to help him, but now, you know, he's asking about all the criticism. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
Excellent answer for him to come alongside and help, but what about, how does he handle the criticism that he's getting from people?
Well, I mean, just because someone's a great speaker doesn't mean they're a great leader. And I think
True.
part of helping sometimes people become great leaders is being upfront and honest with some of these weaknesses. I mean, I think it's okay to go to him and say, hey, I'm an intern. I'm supposed to be learning from you. I'm new at this. And here's all these things that are happening that really are the leader of the ministry's job, whether he's good at them or not. I mean,
Right. They follow
he's
him, that's
the
fair.
one that is charged with the responsibility of caring about his people, caring about his students, his volunteers. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's so great if he's great at being up front, but I feel like you have to be great at the people part. That's our role, is pastoring the people. So, I mean, I think you have to go to your lead, whether he's going to get upset with you or not. If he gets upset with you, that's a total pride issue, and it's weird. because these are his people. These are his,
Right.
these are his issues that he should be a part of dealing with the intern.
It'd be natural for him, if I'm making this personal, to be defensive though.
Sure.
Of why are people critical coming to them and not to me, and I don't know. I feel like that would be tough.
You would feel wounded because they went to the intern instead of you.
Absolutely, yeah.
But what
I mean,
if
I'd be
you're
wounded
going
either
to
way.
him first and he's pushing it off on the intern?
Could
What if
be.
it's happening
Totally
that
could
way?
be. Don't you think that the intern or whoever in this case should redirect them directly to the lead person? I feel like if you're listening to it, you have a responsibility now with that information. So if you listen to the criticism and then you do nothing about it, you are agreeing by default with the criticism
Right.
and contributing to the problem. So if you don't redirect them back to the big guy, or you don't take it there, I think you're guilty.
Yeah, well, one of the things
I would die if one of my interns felt like they had to handle a complaint issue about me or, directly. I mean, I don't know.
But isn't that, part of the internship is this. Intern is synonymous with learning.
Right.
Sure.
So if you're not going to learn how to deal with conflict, you should never be an intern. To stay away from ministry.
Right.
So there's going to be conflict. That's part of the gig. So what I would say is, yes, you say that you just get some backbone and you say, you know what? If that complaint was directed at me, I'll sure take it. But it seems like it's directed at Tom, and my suggestion to you is go straight to Tom. That's the if you're going to complain, that's the right thing to do.
Definitely.
So I do agree with that, Josh. You sent him that way. But I also think that for our friend Charles, I think Charles goes in a posture of humility, because as we've said many times, humility always wins. Mm-hmm. You go to your youth pastor in a posture of humility and say, boy, this internship is unbelievable. I am learning so much from you. You're an amazing speaker. I love the way that you do this, and this. Affirm him for what you are really learning. But as part of this learning, I am so confused on what to do when people come to me and criticize. I've got 5 criticisms in the last month based on directed at you, and I don't know what to do with those.
Right.
And put the ball in his court.
Yeah.
That is part of that learning example. But so I think there's a both and. I think one, you do what you're saying, direct him back to, don't talk behind the problem, go right to the problem. And honestly, you may, now let's turn it back on Charles. Charles, you may be creating an environment where maybe you're talking too much or you're expressing your disappointment, that's kind of becoming a magnet to
for people complaining.
Yeah, for people to complain. So you need to kind of hold up the mirror and go, wait, if everybody's coming to me, am I creating something about my posture or my terminology or the way that
body language or
whatever it is that I'm
subtle.
saying, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on.
But it is easier to go to, it's probably easier to go to Charles because there might be some intimidation with the lead guy or people not feeling totally comfortable or connected to him, that they do feel like, I'll just go to Charles.
Yeah.
And then hopefully he can tell him everything.
Totally agree.
Happening.
Well, there's also something in this. Anybody listening, if you're the number 2 person, it's always easier to be the number 2 person.
That's right.
Always easier,
Yeah.
and it's always easier when you're in the back seat. It's always easier to think about. Oh, here's how I drive.
Boy, when I was there, I
would do this, this, and this, and that's somebody who's been in the back seat, and then all of a sudden you sit in the front seat and you got the steering wheels and the ignition and everything. You're going, oh wait, it's sure
Yeah, well, this guy did pretty well actually. Crap.
I can't tell you how many people over the years
crash this vehicle.
have apologized to me.
Oh yeah.
That have said we're interns or on staff or something. Then they go on and be youth pastors and they come back, Doug, I got to apologize to you. And I don't even remember them, complaining or whatever it was, but them thinking, when I'm in charge, I'll do this, and then. Yeah.
Well, here just an example from lunch today. I was having lunch with a youth pastor from the area, and a couple small group leaders showed up, and they are genuinely disappointed about a decision that our pastor made. And I heard him for a few seconds. I just totally saw where it was going. I was embarrassed now because I'm with it. It's so embarrassing. And I just said, hey, just so you know, our pastor very rarely intervenes with a decisive, major decision that affects us directly. I said, when he steps in and makes a big call like this, I trust him. Because even though it's uncomfortable, it might even be disappointing and discouraging. I said that he doesn't do that often.
Right.
So when he does, he believes it. he is bleeding this. This is from God's Spirit to his ears, or he would not make this call. It's 'cause, so I kind of was trying to in awkwardly model in front of this.
Diffuse, but be supportive.
Diffuse it, understand it, recognize it, listen to it, but also say, this is what our leader has done, and I'm following the leader. I'd encourage you to process and maybe run it up the flagpole, but right here, you're not going to get any further than right here with me.
And I think for Charles, any number 2 or intern, you know, the more time you spend with your leader as well, just getting to know them, their insights, their, you know, what makes them who they are, you know, that helps in those situations as well, because you have a better understanding of their vision and why they make decisions the way that they do and their weaknesses and that kind of thing. So maybe even trying to, it sounds like there's a little intimidation between Charles and the leader, but maybe trying to break those barriers down a little bit relationally just by hanging out together, if it's possible, to just know him and understand him a little bit better, because that helped you diffuse that situation, just knowing a little bit more about our pastor.
Well, and if curriculum is one of the issues, you can always buy the YM360 Super Pack. It would be a great, you can get curriculum right away.
Hey, well, here's the deal. We're going to send Charles something from Leader Treks. Moving on. Know where to go and how to get there.
Subtle.
No.
Subtle.
We are going to send him Moving On. Knowing where to go and how to get there, because we want people to be exposed to our sponsors' resources.
There you go. Good stuff. We believe in this stuff. It's true.
We still have a bunch of t-shirts from Show 200.
Yeah. We aren't going to post the show, but we will give away t-shirts.
Yeah, it's interesting because Youth Stuff was so gracious about this. We have about 20 shirts, and we need to figure out what to do with these.
We'll take Dallas and then.
We could take them to Dallas.
We could do it. We could do something.
I don't know. Maybe Josh and I'll do that. Oh,
you could open them and cross it out and put a little 204.
My wife is calling right now, and I'm gonna answer
Live on the show.
Live on the show.
This.
Hey, babe, we're recording a show right now.
Hi, Kathy.
Okay, I'm jumping on my phone here. You want to do your phone? Everyone can just watch us.
Do you have anything exciting to tell me?
She's asking about the trash.
Did you take the trash out, honey?
Everybody text right now.
Do it. Yeah.
Or get on the
take
blog.
a break. Take a break. Oh yeah, go to More Than Dodgeball.
Text Seth.
All right,
Read
great.
some
I
stuff.
love you. Talk to you
His
later.
number is.
Bye. Okay, that was big. Sorry.
What,
Sorry.
did she make the
What
team?
happened?
Well, my daughter's trying out at college.
Is there news?
Well, that's what I thought she was calling to say whatever, but she was just, she
She's like,
forgot.
I can tell you what college it isn't. Because if it was Azusa Pacific University, we would have heard that 20 times by now on the show.
No, here's the only reason I'm not saying right now
you're
is
fine. I'm messing with
because
you.
I'm just protecting the coaches that
Sure.
they have to recruit a bunch of different kids, and so I'm.
How did she do? Did she kill it?
That wasn't why Kathy was calling. She says I've driven by, like Cassie didn't want us in there where she's trying to, which I understand. You know, you're being recruited and you're
trying to figure it out on your own.
Yeah,
Cool.
just I don't want mom and dad sitting in the bleachers like it's high school.
Yeah.
And so Cassie
It
drove
high school for like 3 more months. or
Yeah,
whatever.
Kathy drove by and saw her in there playing, and it's not a tryout. She's being recruited,
So she's
but
just-
the coach wants her to interact and play and the whole bit. And now that her senior season is over, she's allowed to do that. So it just ended yesterday, and she's now on the court.
Weird.
That's
I know.
unbelievable.
So I
That's
thought maybe there
awesome.
was something exciting, but
Your youngest
Baby
daughter
Cassie.
is finishing.
I am. Here's the deal. I am so close to being an empty nester, and Kathy and I are gonna. She's
Party.
now gonna go with me when I speak.
That's
So
cool.
cool.
what I'm going to do is instead of fly somewhere and speak and fly back, I'm going to speak, take Kathy with
couple
me.
days.
We'll get a car. We'll drive to another city. So I'm much more available to speaking.
All right, good to know. I'm a full nester, as is Katie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, nobody's leaving anytime
we're not
soon.
leaving anywhere. We'll just be right around here at McDonald's Playland if you need
Yeah.
us.
Available to speak right here to
All right.
At Chuck E. Cheese sometimes I
Joe Thompson from Winterville, North Carolina. I'd love to hear the group's thoughts on teens interacting with the Bible. I am strong right
speak. You
now.
are so
Joe.
strong. Those cookies look
They smell really
Look,
good.
they taste. They
they're
were
so
unbelievable.
good.
I've
I
only
went
had
into
one.
it.
I'm good with
Next time you say
That's
all I can
giveaway,
handle.
let's overnight some of these cookies. Will Mrs.
See,
Bartlett
here's
be
the
okay
deal.
with that?
Seth actually thinks I'm kidding when I say don't bring cookies to my house anymore.
Those are good.
But he doesn't realize that I'm very serious. That I'm gonna start.
not?
I'm gonna start.
He can't hate you. You're so nice.
Seth
very
is
likable.
nice.
Just do
Very
what you do.
likable guy.
Be yourself, Seth.
But
Be yourself and
here's
keep
what I
them
may do
nice.
next time. I may take the whole thing, go inside, and go to the bathroom on them and bring them out.
But you would tell me, right? You would tell me.
I would
I
tell
think,
you.
I think it'd be noticeable.
I
I,
would
feel
tell
like it'd be
Just
noticeable.
give me a little. Little
Yeah.
segment.
I thought you were gonna say sit in a corner and eat all of them myself. That story took a turn for the worse.
No, I about did that today.
They're so good. All right, Joe. Here we go.
He wants
Teens
to
and
hear
the
our
Bible.
thoughts on teens interacting with the Bible. On the one hand, I love the way that
Good.
smartphones.
It's a good thing.
Next question.
Yeah, thumbs up.
I love the way smartphones and Bible apps allow my teens to have access to the Bible so much. But on the other hand, I hate how most of them couldn't find a book of the Bible in a printed copy, and most of them have no idea where their printed copy is. Bible apps have become more of an excuse for my kids not to carry and probably not use their Bibles. Am I making too big a deal out of this? What have you guys done to help build an understanding of the importance of the Bible in your groups? If you get to this question in a podcast, hopefully it will be uploaded before smartphones and apps have become outdated.
Oh, strong bit.
That was a great
That's impressive.
one.
Good bit directed at McGill, who's not here. Who honestly I haven't missed until
Yeah,
just
it's
now.
weird. The chemistry's been really good.
I
and
haven't
now
missed him at all.
Little
I
tear.
missed him.
Little
No, I mean-
African tear for our
Only
partner.
because he's my direct eye line, and right now I'm just looking at your tools. So. Oh gosh, really?
What?
Have a cookie.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't either. I just can't stop smiling right now.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. You are so red right now. You're still a pink ghost.
Here's what I would
okay,
say.
Joe.
I'll give my input first, and then you
Okay.
guys can calm down.
I'll agree.
I'm calm. I'm calm. I have not. That was.
All right,
yep.
here we go.
I have. Look at all the
Saw.
hammers I've got. I've got like 6 hammers up
Could
there.
I borrow one of those
Pan.
mallets?
Pan.
Yeah.
We should look at those tools.
No,
That is crazy.
In episode 199, we showed the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, look
Yes.
back on that. You won't find 200, by the way.
Well, here's the deal. When was the printing press?
There
1865.
you go. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Civil War, but I'm going to go with that.
Hey, search that.
1774.
1774.
1546.
16. I'm gonna go 1675.
Okay, 1701. What'd you say?
That's what I said.
1665. You said 1701.
Yeah.
I'll go 1702. Because then I get all the modern era. Here we go. 1685.
Gutenberg. When is it?
Yeah, that's good. That's fair. 1440.
1440. Okay,
So
so
none
I
of us
won.
win.
You're,
I was closest. I was closest.
Okay, reel this show in right now. Come on.
So you've got people didn't even bring their Bibles. There wasn't printed Bibles. So this concept of taking a Bible to church is a relatively new.
It's brand new.
And
300 years. Whatever, right? 14.
Well, and that's not,
Yeah.
I mean, half of them didn't even have, it was written in Latin, chained to the pulpit,
Exactly.
and priests read it to them. So this idea that taking a Bible to church makes someone more committed. Now, obviously, do we want to help our kids read the Word? Absolutely.
Of course.
Personally, I have enjoyed my Bible reading so much more with an iPad over the last year
Yeah.
than I have probably in the last 5 years. Now, I mean, I love my physical Bible. I'm actually preaching at a church right now that uses the NIV, and they're sticklers. They want the NIV, and that's not my translation of choice. But I went out and got an NIV, but it's a new Bible, and it doesn't have my warmth in it. Doesn't have my notes on the side, the whole bit.
Yeah.
But I like reading off the iPad. It's interesting, and this would be maybe a poll sometime. Is I feel like I read more with my iPad.
because it's just at your fingertips.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's a bigger font,
Yeah.
and I just kind of go through it. And typically, my thing is, don't read for speed; you read for depth. So it's not like I'm going, okay, I got to read 3 chapters today.
Sure.
Right.
I just find myself reading more based on ease. So I think we got to be careful to not be so legalistic that
Yeah.
if they bring their Bibles, that means they're reading them, and if they
Sure.
don't, they're not. So Joe asked, am I making too big of a deal out of it? I don't know what kind of deal you're making out of it, but the fact that kids can now have access to God's Word on their phone, I think is a
Yeah.
pretty cool deal. Now, the small group that would meet in my house, half the kids were reading it off their phone, and
Right.
I didn't care.
Right.
But what do you guys think?
No, it's good. I would say in our life groups, small groups, we give them a physical Bible. So when you register for life group, it costs $25, whatever, and part of that registration is a physical Bible. Same translation for everybody in the group that way, and it kind of becomes your small group Bible. One of our steps in the covenant is to agree to bring your Bible, because you're going to study your Bible and find the passages. I do think, I grew up in a church where you brought your Bible every week, you studied it it was a very physical thing, but it was also before apps and before all that business.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't bother me. I love to embrace technology. I feel like we're moving forward. We're not moving backward. But I do think there's a place for a paper physical Bible. I just don't think I'd stress out about it
Yeah.
as much as maybe I think he is.
Yeah, or make a comment about it. Because, when I talk now, it's like this last weekend I was speaking in a church. I said, open your Bible to Colossians, chapter 1, or turn on your phone.
Right.
And
Right.
there's people in the front row with iPads that are,
Yeah.
that's just such a part of life.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I saw the mini
Is that cool?
for the first time. It's like journal size. It actually looks
that's
pretty
neat.
cool. I don't know if I would.
Matt probably has 2 or 3 of them right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was very cool.
That's
I
awesome.
think it's both and. Like you said, I have a Bible that I think I've fallen in love with more and more over the years, but that's been kind of as I've matured. But I think, gosh, if I was a high school student, that definitely would have been something that I used, regularly. And I don't know. I think it's both and. I think encouraging them to have a Bible that's theirs, that, maybe that's like a different something than doing Bible study together. Or having them follow along in their Bibles while you're preaching. Maybe that's a different, more spiritual discipline lesson or something that you're doing and helping them go a little bit deeper in their faith. But when I was in high school, I didn't view my Bible as that, as
Yeah.
something that I kind of moved around my room and that kind of thing. But then, like I said, as I kind of grew up in my faith, it's just I have a Bible that I've fallen in love with, and it's got so much of me in it. But I've had a 20-year journey with that Bible, so...
I almost wonder if the Bible is a symbol, like a physical Bible is a symbol of something going on that maybe we have wrongly connected to faith or maturity
Yeah, that's
or
a good
discipleship.
It's interesting.
But don't you think some of teaching, though, is we make a big deal out of things that are a big deal to us? And so maybe if it's a big deal to you, Joe, then make it a big deal
make
to
it
your
a big
kids.
deal.
Sure.
For me, when I was in high school, I was given the Good News from Modern Man. It was a little paperback New Testament. And I know exactly where that was. I read it at night, and I, paged through it and did things like that. But I never, I didn't take it to church with me.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I just read it.
Yeah, no, that's great. I
Definitely.
love it.
Who's here?
That's Monica from HSN.
Oh.
She's going to do your interview in a
Oh,
little bit.
great.
Yeah, but when you travel around the
great.
globe too, more people have access to the Bible because most people have a cell phone.
Yeah.
When we travel to Rwanda and stuff like that, most people
Right.
don't have access to a Bible, but they've
true.
got and they have a cell
They have a phone.
and so they're able to pick up more. For some places
That is the
that
Bible.
is the Bible.
It
so.
will be funny in a few years when people are like, I don't know, I don't want them to give up their apps for just having it implanted in their brain. The app, there's something special about
I
your
know,
iPad.
because the thing is, they pull their ear, they can change translations.
Exactly. Oh, NIV. There's an old one.
There's an oldie.
Okay, last question. Cheryl Johnson from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Okay, Cheryl.
Says, what is your advice about working with boys in youth ministry? As a female youth pastor, I need perspective and thoughts on how to reach them in relevant ways. I think it only belongs to Katie on this one.
Take it to the finish line,
You guys
Kate.
don't know anything about boys.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
But a lot of tools over there.
Totally looking right at him. Well, I love the boys in my ministry, and I feel
Just
whatever.
motor through it. Here
No,
we
I
go.
do. I feel like I have a great relationship with.
Sound bites. This
I
is
know,
going to be
seriously,
the
this is-
show of
Just
sound
Don't put
bites.
this in the intro video. I like boys in my ministry.
Yeah.
No, I love the guys in my ministry. I feel like I have a great relationship with them. I don't spend any one-on-one time with them.
Yeah.
Even counseling, if the parent of a boy wants me to be a part of counseling, I have, one of my, either their small group leader that's a guy, or maybe somebody from my team that can do that with me. So, you know, I feel like I minister to them as in my group, you know, my congregation as a whole, which is a ton of fun, and, you know, preaching and our crowd program. But I have some great guy leaders that do the more one-on-one ministry, crisis counseling. I don't do a whole lot of that with our boys, like I said, unless it's something that's a little bit next level that needs to be done by me. But I always bring somebody alongside of me in those situations.
Yeah,
but
smart.
I think you can have a great time with guys, girls in your ministry, have great conversations with them. If I'm talking with a boy one-on-one, it's still in the midst of kind of everyone, you know, the other students around, but I can still have a great connection with them. How are you? How's your family? What's happening? You know, how's this going? Did you win your game? You know, so I feel like I've got a great connection with a lot of boys, but one-on-one ministry is just where I bring in a partner.
Yeah.
Always.
It's great. Well, and I think for junior high boys or high school boys, I think it's great for them to have a woman that they look up to. You know, they get a picture of here's what a woman who loves Jesus looks like. You know, the other night we were at that Homeward banquet.
Yeah.
And there was a woman named Pam Sears who she came up and gave her a big hug, and I just had flashbacks to high school, because when I was in high school she was the female leader in our ministry, and she spoke, and you know, it wasn't like I was attracted to her. I just liked her. I thought she's a cool woman.
Well, she mattered to your faith.
Absolutely.
Too.
And it was just nice to have somebody who wasn't a guy that was always going to be wrestling with me after a youth group.
Right.
Somebody that was there who was just, she loved Jesus. She, you know, she understood things.
Sure.
I mean, I talked to her every once in a while after youth group, but she was a significant woman in my life. You know.
Definitely. And I think the questions I ask are real different than the questions that our guy leaders ask. Like you said, there's a real physical relationship between guys wrestling and high-fiving and that kind of thing. And I feel like even my role as mom and, you know, the way that I speak and things like that, I think they get some different stuff from me that they get from the guy leaders. And I like that.
Yeah, that's great.
It's fun.
That's great. Very cool. Very cool.
I like it.
Junior
All right.
boys.
Anything as we close?
No, I'm good.
Episode 202, Didn't Miss Matt?
No,
202.
that could be the title right there. Didn't miss Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed you.
Yeah, no, I always miss.
Oh, of course I
miss
missed Matt.
I'm a little sick to my stomach.
Dude, you know what would help?
Oh, your cookies.
You know what would help?
4. Why did you
One
let
more
me eat
cookie.
4?
It seems high. I think
Seems
maybe 5.
high.
Maybe another half.
No,
One more bite's
wouldn't.
all I need.
This show could just be titled Dirty Sound Bites. This is really what it could be called.
202 is in the can.
That's not a bad
We
idea.
will
Dirty sound bites.
See you
All right,
next
hey,
time.
send in your questions to youthministrygarage.com. New things, exciting things happening, right,
See
Seth?
you in Dallas, right? You guys
Yeah,
are
see
doing
you in
some
Dallas.
Do
See you in
something in
Outback.
Dallas, and Katie, we'll see you next time.
Think about you
Whoa.
there.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Great.
Great. All right, bye, you guys.